Check. Shannon Sharpe on the radar with that settlement. I guess he got canned from ESPN as well. I did not know this. I thought he already, after the Skip Bayless stuff, I didn't know he was still associated with ESPN. We don't get out much here, people. How's everybody doing? It's The Fringe with your man in the building.
DJ Pearly Q.
All right. Shannon Sharpe, $20 million settlement for some OnlyFans shenanigans. That's an expensive. Hey, what did they say? It ain't tricking if you got it, right? Apparently, Shannon got 20 plus mil to shell out for these OnlyFans hoes. So we're going to get into this story right now, y'all. All right, without any more delay. It's a little clip I found talking about the story.
Right.
It's them young ones that come.
Yes.
That'll do what you want.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me I'm independent. I pay my bills.
Right.
I pay the cost to be the boss. You the boss by yourself.
ESPN confirming to NBC.
Oh, man. Shannon, the thirst, boy.
It's cutting ties with its NFL commentator Shannon Sharpe. The move coming after Sharpe, of course, the Hall of Fame tight end, settled a lawsuit accusing him of sexual assault and battery.
Very grateful for that, but I just wished, of all things, like I said, hey, they did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that. But I just wish, guys, this thing could have waited until Monday.
So Cat Williams just went hard on Shannon Sharpe after ESPN fired him, and he's.
So what he's talking about there, as I wish they could have waited till Monday to announce they were firing him, was because his brother, I think his older brother, Sterling. You guys remember, from back when I used to watch football, Sterling Sharpe. Another Hall of Fame, all right, very good NFL player. His brother just was getting, that weekend when they announced they were firing Shannon, that was the weekend that Sterling was getting inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame. So that's what Shannon was talking about. It was like, because I guess he reached out to ESPN and was like, hey, can you all just wait until Monday, so it don't, take away from my brother's shine. But yeah, they were like, yeah, fuck you. They were like, fuck you and your brother. We're gonna announce this shit on Friday, and yes, this news is gonna overshadow your brother being inducted into the Hall of Fame. So, which was messed up on ESPN's part, I would say. But at the same time, Shannon doing too much, man. And yeah, he got his brother caught up. Ain't that some bullshit? What's up, Matt?
In case you missed it, ESPN decided to cut all ties with Shannon. And the decision came right after Shannon settled a $50 million lawsuit with OnlyFans model Gabriela Zuniga. But what's crazy is that this is exactly what Kat tried to warn Shannon about.
So that's the chick. He was messing with this 20-something-year-old girl. Oh, young woman, young lady. If you're like me, Shannon's what, 55, 50? He's only a few years older than I am. Yeah, he's got daughters older than this chick he's messing with. Same with me. I've got daughters older than her. Now, just for those who don't know, he, was in an ongoing relationship with this young lady. And then she decided to sue him. Okay. They asked for $50 million. They settled for 20-something million. Okay. From what I understand so far about this story. Max says Shannon Sharpe got fired. Well, I didn't know, like I said, the last time I heard about, when I thought Shannon was already, because he started doing Club Shay Shay after he left, what was it, Undisputed with Skip Bayless, right? They got into it or whatever. So I assumed he had left ESPN after that. That was my bad. I didn't know he was still working. He still had a job with ESPN. He was doing Club Shay Shay, and I guess he was doing shit for ESPN. Again, this is news to me. I didn't know. I thought they already fired him, but apparently they didn't. But they decided to fire him after he settled this lawsuit for $20-something million for messing around with this young OnlyFans chick. The thirst, people. The thirst. Getting expensive out here.
Sat there across from Shannon on Club Shay Shay and told him to his face that messing with white women could get him caught up.
I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared.
And then Monique said the same thing and gave Shannon some solid dating advice.
I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
And you tried to say what you tried to say.
I'm looking right at you. I ain't backing down. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you.
But Shannon decided.
So, and that's another thing that's interesting to me. Everybody knew, I guess, everybody knew that was his thing. He liked to mess with young women, right? 20-something-year-old chicks. And he talks about it. Like, yeah, they do what they, in that first clip we saw, yeah, the young ones, they do what you tell them to do, blah, blah, blah. He was on that bullshit. Okay, I guess. Until you get one that, that's sizing you up and like, yeah, let's we're gonna extract some wealth here. And so that's what happened. He was messing with this young chick for I don't know how long. It was months, maybe, who knows, over a year. I can't remember. I don't know. It was long enough. They, there's phone conversations. That's why the lawsuit. That's why they settled. Okay, they had plenty of evidence that he was doing whatever they, abusive or whatever the claims were. And I've heard some of those phone calls where he's telling her to shut up and saying whatever, like being aggressive with her, right? I'll say that. I've heard clips of these phone conversations because she started recording him. Look, good for her. All right. We say it all the time out here. Good. Get your money. However you get your money, you ain't hurt, as long as you ain't hurting nobody, you ain't stealing nothing from nobody. Hey, get your money. And guess what? I ain't mad at her. She did exactly what she was supposed to do to get her $20 million. She got this guy caught up, got him on tape. And yeah, now time came to pay up, and he had to pay up. Shannon Sharpe, man. Max says, for one of our products, he was still playing for the Broncos. Oh yeah. Oh, you got pictures with him. Nice. Yeah, for a company you used to work for. Yeah, he was like endorsement type deal or something. Yeah, Jay Mullins. Funny, huh? Shit's funny. I hope it's worth. I guess it was worth it. Again, do what you do. You're a grown man. Shannon Sharpe.
To ignore all the warning signs and advice, and now look at where he is, jobless, embarrassed, and scrambling. Instead of playing it smart, he ended up paying a fat settlement to this model, got dragged through the headlines, and now to top it all off, ESPN cut him off. And let's be real, any serious network is probably going to think twice before hiring a guy whose biggest headline is now SA lawsuit settlement. And now Cat Williams is saying, I told you so. Sources close to Shannon are saying he has no sympathy for Shannon because Unc literally had it all and blew it by being stupid. And one insider revealed that Cat didn't warn Shannon about white women for no reason. Cat already knew Shannon was messing around with this young OnlyFans model way before the lawsuit dropped. And he saw
Shannon Sharpe's a grown man, all right? What is this trying to warn him? He's doing exactly what he wants to do. So again, he obviously had this, figured he was going to have to pay sooner or later. Like, unless he really thought he could avoid a situation like this, you're dealing with internet models. You don't think one of them is going to try and get some money out of you? I'm pretty sure he probably understood that. What do you guys think? Everything happened the way it was supposed to. This does not surprise anybody, right? He's messing with a 20-something-year-old OnlyFans model. and she sues him and gets some money out of him. The question is this going to happen again? Is this what he's going to have to do to live the lifestyle he wants to live, which is date, young young models? Yeah, you're going to have to pay, Shannon. Yeah, obviously you understand they don't love you. So maybe that's just his plan. I'm just going to pay for the thirst, and as long as I keep making money, I can keep paying, and I'll live my life the way I want to. Maybe that's his strategy. I don't know. That's the only real strategy. At least you're being honest. If that, because you gonna pay if you keep messing around with people like this, women like this. You're gonna keep paying.
I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
Come on, cat.
And again, for me, look, it ain't even about white or black. Look, man, these type of women, they come in all different colors and flavors, man. The ones that are out to get money, they gonna get money. They ain't got nothing to do with being white. But that's Cat Williams. That's what How many we all know what Robin Givens did to Mike Tyson, right? So I think that's a little unfair. Cat Williams can say, "Hey, man, look out for them white women." It's like, nah, man, you just gotta look out for the greedy women. All right, it got nothing to do, in my opinion. It ain't got shit to do with ethnicity. All right, if a woman's out for, if you got money and they come in and they want it, they gonna get it, and it don't matter what color they are. We understood this a long time ago, people. Okay, we understood this where I'm from, you already understood this shit. Look out for them gold diggers, right? What'd your mom tell you? What'd your grandma, what'd your auntie tell y'all?
What's also crazy is that Shannon agreed to pay millions to that OnlyFans model, thinking that the settlement would help him save his job and make this whole thing go away. But ESPN pulled the plug and fired him anyway. And y'all, that OnlyFans model, well, she quit OnlyFans just 24 hours after the settlement news.
Is that right? The settlement came down, and she made an announcement and said, "Yo, I'm not doing OnlyFans anymore." That's hilarious.
Dropped. Gabriella announced the news on her Instagram, saying, "Today I have decided to retire from OnlyFans. Thank you for the incredible support you've shown me for the past few years. This community has given me a life I could never have imagined. I'll still be active on social media and have several new projects in the works that I can't wait to share. I'm truly excited for this next chapter." So Shannon literally retired this girl, y'all. She said for life. She
retired. The day after the settlement came through, she got on Instagram and said, "Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your support. I'm going to be retiring now." That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Look, look, here, I will say this. It's $20 million, all right? I don't know the way these young people, and they look, inflation. Look, $20 million ain't really what it used to be. And I say that, especially with I see these young streamers out here complaining about like $10K a month isn't enough to live off. Like these young streamers that are doing 10, 15, 20K a month. They're complaining they're not making, some of them are complaining they're not making enough money. So 20 million, if she, look, she obviously either she got real lucky. I don't think it was luck, man. She got that money because she was very thorough. All right. So it sounds like she's pretty smart. So I think so. She should be able to stay retired from OnlyFans if she takes care of her finances. And from what we know so far about her, she seems to be pretty good with finances. What do you guys think? Sarah and Jean, welcome in.
secured generational wealth from a freaky race-playing 50-year-old man. You really can't make this up. And here's why nobody is cutting Shannon any slack. It's not just that he got played by this girl. It's also the fact that this is the same guy who said that he wouldn't let his daughter's wedding budget go over $30,000. And fans...
Shannon Sharpe. I'm seeing all this for the first time. I didn't know all these details. So Shannon was talking about, I'm not spending more than $30K on my daughter's wedding, but he had to cough up $20 million for the thirst. Good grief. This is hilarious.
Were quick to drag Shannon for these comments, especially after leaked texts showed he admitted that the OnlyFans model was charging him $25,000 for each cheek. Someone on X said it needed to happen to expose how much of a hypocrite Shannon is.
Wait, so we already knew, but yeah, he was paying like for every date, and she still got him. Is that what they're saying? I mean, look. She's a professional. So he was paying for each date. And she still got his ass. but like, yeah. Well, I guess it was, yeah, it wasn't fast. Money wasn't fast enough. She was like, nah, I can't. $25K a date, no. $50K, nah, I need 50 million right now. I need 50 mil right now. I'm tired of playing with your old ass.
He lost the little respect he had for others. Now he's done. Willing to give an ex-worker millions of dollars, but his own daughter $30K for her wedding. And another user wrote, Shannon Sharpe has done so many things wrong, but me learning about him being cheap on his daughter's wedding really made me side-eye the F out of that country bumpkin. You paid more for that young white girl who saw you as a lick. How dumb was that? And as if all that wasn't embarrassing enough, just Dave.
What's going on, Michelle? Hey, you didn't? Yeah, you're not up to speed on the Shannon Sharpe settlement. Yeah, that's what we're going over. Neither am I. That's why I'm going over this. Yeah, I didn't know all these details. This shit is hilarious, man. Shannon Sharpe. Again, he's a grown man. You can do what you want, man. You want to pay? You want to pay for having to deal with them young girls like that? That's fine. That's your prerogative. But you got to take what's coming along with it. And yeah, a lot of people, so here's what, and myself included, not the issue. It's the thing, again, you've seen, if you know Shannon Sharpe and, from him being on TV and stuff, and, he gets into the race stuff and, racism this and the blackity black shit, right? But yet, here he is running around, smashing young OnlyFans chicks, right, that happen to be white, okay? And if the man, if you've like me, you've seen Shannon Sharpe talk about the man this and the racism that and, and sports and all this stuff. All right. But see, that's what I mean. Are you really sincere? You don't seem too sincere. If you're talking all that shit, at your job but when you out there, living your life, you paying $50K for dates with these young OnlyFans models. So again, miss me with all the blackity black, yes, the racism, we gotta blah 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 and all this shit. Miss me with all that. You just running around being thirsty, living your life, then do that. All right? Don't try to get me to believe some bullshit about some moral shit you talking about. I can give a shit because obviously you don't. If that's what you're doing in your free time. What do y'all think?
Days after Shannon settled the lawsuit and agreed to pay millions to Gabriella, ESPN dropped the hammer and officially cut all ties with him. As for Shannon's reaction, he broke his silence on July 30th on the Nightcap podcast. And he also told his listeners that he begged ESPN to postpone the announcement of his firing until after his older brother, Sterling Sharpe, was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
See, and that's what sucks about this situation. Sterling Sharpe, yeah, guess what? No shenanigans. That's why people I damn near forgot about him too. So that's what happened here. Sterling, his older brother, getting inducted into the Hall of Fame that weekend. All right, so this is Shannon Sharpe, silly ass. Like, all right, y'all, don't announce that you're firing me until after my brother's, big event for him. His brother's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame because I don't want it to overshadow his moment. Well, it's too late for that. You're doing too much. And see, that's what happened. They announced it, so ESPN said, "Fuck you." We putting it out today on Friday. And I guess, again, Sterling was getting inducted that weekend into the Hall of Fame. So, it sucks that his brother had to catch had to catch a stray, basically, right, from Shannon's, thirstiness. But oh well. Yeah, basically ruined Sterling's Hall of Fame moment. Right. See, that's what I mean. Sterling Sharpe, man, unless it was football, you didn't hear about him. All right. And that's what I mean. That's how you know these athletes and celebrities that are, just doing what they're supposed to be doing and staying off the radar when you don't hear about them. All right. There are people like that, Sterling Sharpe is one of those guys. He just played ball. He's a good player and did well, and that's it. Didn't hear about anything else outside of that. And yeah, here we are. However many, 30 years later or whatever, he's getting inducted, and now this bullshit with his brother, got him all jammed up. Which is that's too bad. That's too bad.
Shannon said he had to apologize to his brother because he knew his lawsuit and ESPN's decision to fire him would overshadow Sterling's big moment. But ESPN and Disney clearly had no sympathy for Shannon and ignored his request.
Before we get started, obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really ask is guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And so,
yeah. And guess what? This is what you learn. All right. Again, these people get to thinking like Shannon really thinks somebody gives a shit. Like ESPN gives a shit about what he thinks. No, they don't. And that's how they show you. Okay. That right there. You think you the man. You think we give a shit about what? Hey man, my brother's getting inducted. Fuck you. See how that's what I mean. Like people, get to believe in their own bullshit. And this is what happens, Nah, man, they did that. That was all. They did that because that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to say, fuck you and your brother. All right? Because they don't give a shit about you. ESPN don't give a shit about you. Just like this model don't give a shit about you. Even though you was paying her good money for the date, she still was like, fuck you, I'm getting more.
as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless. Thank you guys for your support.
And you know what makes the situation even crazier? Shannon was supposed to sign a massive $100 million deal before that lawsuit dropped. He was in talks for a podcast deal, which would have included all of his Shay Shay media shows, including Club Shay Shay, Nightcap with Chad Johnson, Club 520 Podcast, The Bubba Dub Show, and Humble Baddies. And now, not only is that deal off the table, but Shannon lost his spot at ESPN and also ruined his chances of working anywhere under the Disney umbrella, which includes ESPN, ABC, Hulu, and pretty much every major network you can think of. And once you get that kind of public stain,
since when does these kind of accusations matter when it comes to Disney? That's interesting. Really? Disney won't mess with him because he settled some, assault case? Do you know how many? Come on. Again, if y'all rocking with us, that's hilarious. That's funny. Oh, Disney don't want to mess with him now, huh? You know how many people Disney got working there? Nickelodeon, another good example of these not accused but known perpetrators of these accusations. All right, that's where these people get money. All right, that's where all these motherfuckers work at. Yeah, hypocrisy, 100%. Miss me with that bullshit. I ain't buying that. Oh, dude, we can't mess with you now. Bullshit. Dan Snyder, yep, very good public shit. Didn't they do a documentary on Dan Snyder? Yeah, look, these guys. Look, man. So again, this is the fringe. All right, we own that conspiracy bullshit. We know how we have an idea of how these people operate. So yeah, miss me with the Disney can't mess with him now because he's not family friendly. Bullshit.
Especially one this messy, it's almost impossible to bounce back in those circles. And all those projects that were supposed to make Shannon a podcast mogul, that ship sailed the minute Shannon decided to.
Yeah, that's all BS. I mean, if they do things like this, all right, when they want to make an example out of somebody and when they want to perpetuate whatever bullshit. But we ain't buying that because we know how these people rolling out here. 100% Sergio. All right. Yeah, obviously he didn't have. See, this is the thing where people get it twisted. These celebrities thinking they have some kind of influence, right? Just because you got a good job working for this, and they gonna pay you, they paying you millions of dollars, don't mean shit. All right, you ain't got no leverage. They got the leverage. All right, we all understand this now. We've understood this for a minute, but we still in 2025. We still seeing. For me, I'm still seeing examples, and these celebrities really think. They really think look. This whole sign a deal and all this shit. Look, man, do your content. Yeah, you might not get paid $100 million up front. But shit, you can still do your content. You can still have them shows and make plenty of money. Will it be enough to be able to pay $50,000 every time you want to see an OnlyFans model? I don't know. You might have to make some adjustments in your lifestyle expenses. But, Shannon Sharpe going to be fine. All right. And let me make that clear. They always frame these things as, now he's not going to be able to make money. He can't get a deal. He don't need a deal. He's going to be able to get revenue from doing his content and his shows and whatever. He'll be fine. All right. Again, will he be more careful with his socializing, with his social life? It seems to be, just to be smashing, man. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to be paying just to smash some young chicks. On the per cheek, and this is shit that he said, right? She charged me $25 per cheek. Like, it's cool. Like, again, so Shannon look, that man, again, he's a grown man. That's obviously what he chose to do. He had no problem spending money like that. Now, again, he might make, now that he can't get $100 million here and $50 million up front, he'll be fine. He'll figure it out. Shit. I don't see why he can't continue to live this expensive lifestyle of, paying for these hoes. I mean, he could. He just gotta monetize the shit himself, in my opinion. Who paid the most for some ass in 2025? I guess Shannon Sharpe is the front runner right now. I think he has is there a Guinness Book World Record for paying the most for some ass? Somebody, speaking of Hall of Fame and shit, he's in the Hall of Fame for paying the most for some ass out here. Holy shit, 20 plus million, huh? Amazing. We here for the bullshit, y'all. We are here for the bullshit, especially this shit is funny. Get some cheaper hoes, man. $25K, $50K. You have to cut down to the if you can't get that $100 million Disney money, you might have to cut down to them $1,000 hoes instead of the $50K hoes, It's just small adjustments, y'all. That's all. It's like everything, man. Just got to make small adjustments as your revenue fluctuates. That cash flow fluctuates. Hey, all right, I can't afford the filet mignon this weekend, so we just gonna get a ribeye or something. You just make these small adjustments, y'all, and it's all good out here. It's all good. That's right, Black Hawk, fiscal responsibility. Everybody knows what that is. And when the cash flow is good, then you bought, you can You can have more fun when the shit, when that shit slows down. Hey, you just got to make you still have fun, still enjoy yourself. You just got to go from the 50K hoes, 50K a night to $1,000, man. That's all Shannon got to do. He'll be fine. What do you guys think? So what's interesting to me is why things like this happen, right? In the media, like these, it ain't no accident. It ain't no, they show us these things. They want us to see this stuff for a reason, right? It's like, yeah, Shannon Sharpe running around, smashing them young white chicks. We gonna show him. We gonna show this Negro, huh? We gonna put him in his place. The man said, hey, man, you can't be running around here talking about how you smashing all these young white hoes out here. You can't do that. You're doing too much, Shannon. Let's put this Negro in his place real quick. I'm joking, of course. I don't think the conspiracy ain't that serious. But what are we looking at here? We're looking at a guy got caught up, and had to pay. But at the end of the day, he just paying for some ass because he wanted to. Again, grown folks can do what they want, man. You'll never hear me on some moral, high horse or, trying to take some moral high ground about shit like this. Look, you grown. You want to spend $50K on some hoes every weekend or whatever, man. You that's what you do. You do what you do, man. You know what I mean? We don't care. But hey, when you get caught up, and all that shit's out here for us, these content streets got to eat. So yeah, we here for that bullshit. So it is all good. Yeah, just run for politics. Good idea, Jeff. They're like, he can't podcast no more. Man, just run. Yeah, just run for office somewhere. You'll be fine. Like I said, I didn't even know that was all under ESPN. I thought he was doing that. I thought he left ESPN after the Skip Bayless shit. I guess I heard something wrong. Remember when him and Skip got into it and he left Undisputed? I thought he left ESPN. I didn't know he was still working with ESPN. So it's better to be independent anyway. In my opinion, Club Shay Shay going independent, y'all. ESPN, Disney ain't fucking with him. He have to do it by himself. He'll be all right. Oh, that was Fox. Undisputed was Fox. My bad. So okay. Maxia said, that was Fox Sports. Okay, see, I don't get out much, y'all. I don't follow sports like I used to. So he left Fox Sports. And then he got the gig. See, I thought he just went independent. I was like, good for Shannon. I thought he left Undisputed and started doing Club Shay Shay. I thought he was doing that, independently. I didn't know he had signed with ESPN. I had no idea. Yeah, brother man, stop looking for a check from the man. Shannon, get your own money out here. You shouldn't be signing with no ESPN. You should be doing your own shit out here. Come on, black man, you be independent. Do your own shit out here. Stop looking for the white man to hand you a check out here. I mean, that's what they be talking. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You've heard Shannon get on his soapbox about the racial shit, right? Yeah, what you doing? Looking for a check from Disney, man. You should have been independent out here. Should have been independent a long time ago, Shannon. Yeah. Maybe that's what I mean. Things like this happen for a reason. Now maybe he'll get his ass in gear, and yeah, stop messing with these people like that, where they can jam you up. See, when you independent, they can't jam up your brother's Hall of Fame induction, right? When you independent, they can't. See, motherfuckers got to learn the hard way. Everybody goes through it. Maybe he'll learn now. Maybe I don't want to be in a position where these people can, mess with me, take my income and make me look bad, At least, when you, when you, in control and independent, it's all, accountability, buck stops here. Yeah. Like I said, he's just gonna have to make some adjustments. It's all good. Yeah. They're like, man, we ain't giving you all this. We ain't gonna pay you all this money. You run around talking about how you spending all this money, smash these young girls, these young ladies. My bad. She was over 18. All right, let me get out of here. We on TikTok. Let me get out of here before we get banned. I might say something. So yeah, we'll be back. Classic old school mix. All requests coming up. Stay tuned, y'all. Hit that follow.